Alex, we had a really busy day the last 2 days on Capitol Hill. We had some awesome meetings.
Right, so between Department of Transportation and Capitol Hill, meeting with NHTSA, National Safety Council, USTMA, and then moving on to the politics side and meeting with John Ossoff and Warnock and Hank Johnson.
Barry Loudermilk was the other,
Barry Loudermilk, and so, it's just really amazing to be able to go back, that we'll be able to go back to Georgia and kind of share some of the conversations we had about just in my side, Jackson, and entire safety and Road Ready Foundation and everything you guys are doing with IST on the truck insurance minimum.
Well, I think the message was well received because of all the hard work you've been doing with Road Ready, and people were obviously sympathetic about Jackson's story. There was a lot of interest in tire safety, but most people admitted like they don't know much about tires themselves, and they were very curious to hear what you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You always hear about going up to Capitol Hill and being like a number and nobody cares and they pass you on, but I do feel like we actually really made a big impact today.
We've planted some seeds today, and in the future, hopefully those seeds grow into some legislation or just even support from local politicians and government agencies for safer roadways.
We know this is a marathon, but we'll see some change in our lifetime. I know we will. Well, Briant, I really appreciate you supporting Joe Freed and Free Goldberg supporting Road Ready Foundation, and me being able to represent our foundation on tire safety, bring that awareness to Capitol Hill, bring it to a lot of DOT as well. Tire safety to me is obviously very important, as you've supported us and our family in Jackson's loss. And we see there's a huge impact here in education. And like we saw, there are a lot of holes that we hear from the government entities on holes in education and tire safety. And so, Road Ready is obviously near and dear to my heart, but we want Georgia to make that change, understand the change, get educated, and then hopefully we'll be back up here again representing and talking to other states about the same problem and expanding this nationwide.
Yeah, we came up here to kind of educate the government agencies and our local politicians about tire safety. And now the hope is that if we educate them, we can then educate a broader public if they get if we get their support.
Yeah,
we're talking about tire safety from your perspective, and also talking about minimum insurance limits for trucking companies, and both messages were all geared on safety, on making our roadways safer for our families. And we're just so happy to be able to support Road Ready and your organization, and do our best to learn from what we've had to experience the past few years together, and making the roadways a lot safer for everyone.
Absolutely. Our message is, I'm trying to take something that we lost and hopefully make it a win for other families. And I think we're doing a good job.
No doubt. Well, we're so proud to see you've come to this point. It's amazing to think of where we were a couple of years ago, and now we're here on Capitol Hill talking to politicians and leaders of the DOT and things like that. It's amazing what's happened, and I know we have a bright future ahead for the organization, and just an honor to represent you and be with you in this journey.